The following show is in no way to demean, disrespect, or glorify the massacre in Las Vegas. It is only to encourage, to enlighten, and to promote unity in the black community. Our hearts and minds are with the victims of this horrific domestic terrorist attack.
This is the culture
Hey world, this is your girl Asia Towns, and you're now tuned into the Culture Podcast. I appreciate you for tuning in and to get things started off. This week has been crazy. It started off crazy, of course. I had a good weekend. I had an event here in Cleveland. Some of you were able to tune into the live streams, and I appreciate that. So, unless you've been living under a rock or some type of situation where you can't get out and know what's going on in the world, it's a lot's been going on. And, unfortunately, it's ridiculous, actually. We're the only country who has had this many domestic terrorist attacks, and nothing has been reformed or nothing has been done about it. So being that I had so many thoughts and emotions and everything was just so crazy, I wrote a letter because I had so much to say and didn't know how to say it or how to approach the situation or whatever the case may be. And so I'm just going to read the letter for you all and let it be at the end of the show. So, boom. So let's get right to it before I read that letter at the end. I want to talk about self-reflection. I want to talk about that and how it pertains to us and how I feel that we need to do that more, because there's a lot of people out here who's just mad or, excuse me, don't know what's going on with somebody. I try to live by something like you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what somebody's got going on and when somebody's going to tick or what can make somebody's day or any of that. So why walk around here acting crazy? And even if that's you that has something going on, what about the next person? So I want to, first of all, start off with the definition of self-reflection, because maybe some people may not know or may not, have not heard that before. Self-reflection is a noun, okay? Meditation or serious thought about one's character, actions, and motives. One more time. Self-reflection is that of meditation or serious thought about one's character, actions, and motives. And I was just recently doing some self-reflection because I want to, doing the show, I want to be as raw and as real as possible. And I want to make sure I'm giving everybody, excuse me, my best. I'm giving you the best of me. And, maybe sometimes you may get the worst. However, I feel like it's important for the black community because we are spiritual beings. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality. Being spiritually sane is extremely important. I didn't realize how important it was until after I had children. No, for real. It's important. It's important because you're this leader. Even if you don't have children, you need to be spiritually sane, just to maneuver in everyday's world. In this world, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. But if you're spiritually sane and you're one with self, the energy you give off is real. The energy you give off is love. The energy you give off is unity. Us as black people, we've been spiritual beings for since the beginning of time. Unfortunately, it's been tainted due to religion and everything like that. You have to be one with God to move freely in this earth. And if you're not, you ain't sleeping right. You're not living right. You understand? Your days are not sweet. Your tone, the way you move, the way you maneuver around this world is not sweet. And I feel one step closer to unification, it has to come from self. First of all, we need to know thyself. We need to educate ourselves on ourselves. I was watching Hidden Colors, still going over the series, and oh my God, it's amazing. And if you are an avid reader, definitely pick up some books. I know, Miseducation of a Negro is one. From Babylon to Timbuktu is another. I've read those, and I'm still reading those. I want to reread them so I can re-educate myself. I know the Bible and the Quran; those are books of spirituality as well. Um, but I think that we need to do it, and I feel that it's. Excuse me. Here I go again. I put my phone on vibrate. It's important because when we know ourselves, and I've heard the saying before: when you know better, you do better. When you know who you are, you do better. You treat yourself accordingly. You love yourself. You love your neighbor, which is also internally yourself. We all are one people. The black people is a powerful people. We just got away from it. We lost some substance. We got misdirected, and our minds have been subjugated, and manipulated, and we've lost, who we really are. And this show, and I'm here to instill that and put that back in us so we can move as one, so we can do what we need to do on this earth, and be a better people. I think regarding the recent events, clearly Donald Trump. I don't like to talk about him, but I will mention him in this because he's just unbelievably ridiculous. I mean, the way he's painted this man is just like, wow. I shared a video on my Facebook page of how he called it a miracle. He said, "Oh, it's a miracle the things that has happened in Las Vegas, and how the police are acting. It's just a miracle." How, bruh? Do you know what a miracle is? I mean, it's just unbelievably, just I'm almost speechless. I'm just so frustrated, and I can't even really get into it. Like I said, I wrote a note. I wrote you all a letter, and I'm gonna read that. Later on in the show. But just to get more personal, I did some self-reflection recently because of my spirit, and I was feeling out of whack. I wasn't feeling like, my peaceful, funny self, my outgoing, self. I was feeling very tainted. I felt as if my spirit had got tainted, and like I said, maneuver in this world, it can get tainted sometimes. However, this is the reason for self-reflection. But just I was feeling wrong, and I had to look at myself, not only necessarily in the mirror, but I had to sit with myself and write some things down about myself that I felt that need to be improved. And I'm currently working on those things. And I encourage that you encourage someone else to do the same. Like I said, my goal here is to unify the black community, and I think these are steps that is going to be good for us. So there is a black gold moment. I do have a black gold moment, excuse me, and he goes by the name of Jonathan Smith. His name is Jonathan Smith. He's 30 years old. He was in Las Vegas when everything was going on with his family. He was there for his brother's, I think his 45th birthday, his brother's 45th birthday. He's a country music fan, and he was there. He's a black man. I can't remember where he's from, but I know his name is Jonathan Smith. He risked his life to save others. And in the midst of that, he was caught in the fire, and he now will live with a bullet lodged in his neck for the rest of his life. Brother, I appreciate you. I love you, and I thank you for being one with the community and saving others and looking out, even putting yourself in harm's way. I pray peace and blessings over your family, and I honor you, Sam. I honor you. All right, let's get right into it. Ask Asia that.
Yo, ask Asia that. Just ask her. Ask Asia that. Ask Asia that now.
Yes, so the question that I was asked is, while having a conversation, was, do I think that being that, this situation happened in Las Vegas, do I think that, it's going to be reform and the gun laws is going to change, it's going to be harder for people to obtain guns and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's the question. And my answer is I do not think that. It's going to be the same. When Sandy Hook, there was no reform after that. And those were babies. I mean, these were adults. If America does not care about children, innocent babies that were slaughtered in Sandy Hook, I think it was like 26 babies lives were snatched from them in elementary school, and there was no reform. So, no, I do not think that. Like I said before, America is the only country that has had, I think the exact number, give me one quick second. It has been 131 events where there have been four or more people killed by a lone shooter or, two shooters in a few cases. I think that was Columbine. And mass killings in the United States are often carried out with guns, usually handguns. Most of them are obtained legally. These people pass the whatever test they have, and they're obtained. They don't. I guess the thing about it is, it's not extensive testing or requirements to get a gun, and I just think that's ridiculous. 9 people were killed in church. Like I said, 26 in an elementary school, 49 in the nightclub. I think that was Orlando, and here nearly 60 at this music festival. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think the first one of the first deadliest mass shootings was August 1st, 1966, by an ex-Marine sniper who killed his wife and then climbed a 27-story tower in the University of Texas and killed 14 random people. I mean, no, I do not think that. I think the people that really want to change need to make it happen. White people, please get your people. Um, that's just my thought, and that's what's going on. I really don't think it's going to be any change. Donald Trump is passively like, oh, we'll talk about guns and the whatever gun control in the future. I don't think it's going to happen. And then I was reading yesterday a report, gun sales have spiked, and this is just a common. This is just like it's so common. It's just like, man, whatever. Every time after a mass shooting, gun sales go up through the roof, and then 6 months, 9 months, a year later, another one happens. Gun sales. It's for me. It just looks like big business, and it's unfortunate because innocent lives are being taken, and I don't understand that, and I won't understand that. But that is your Ask Asia that question, and I hope I answered that, and gave you the answer that you maybe didn't want to hear or wanted to hear, or I give you an answer that maybe open up your mind a little bit. So real quick, I just want to please pardon my voice. I am a little hoarse, but I'm good money. I'm good. I'm not sick. I don't think I'm coming down with anything. The weather's been changing crazy here in Cleveland. All right. So don't forget to follow the Culture Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You are also welcome to follow me, Real Asia Towns, on Twitter, _Asia Towns on Instagram, and you're also welcome to follow me on Facebook as well. Real quick, I want to send out a few shout outs to some of the people that came out on Saturday's discussion forum here in Cleveland. Shout out to Donnie is a win-win on Instagram. Her business page is for a special occasion. Also, I want to shout out Naji Gabbana on Instagram. Black Girl Be Quiet on Instagram. She also has a YouTube page, which is called The Black Academic. I want to shout out, of course, definitely a part of the team, friend of the show, all of that, Elevated Melanated on Instagram, as well as Meech Peach, also on Instagram. I appreciate all of you, you ladies, and to name a few others, have been extremely supportive and loving and just really in it with me. And I appreciate that. And you all coming out and everybody else that came out, I appreciate that. You ladies are bosses. You are queens, and I stand with you, and I appreciate you for standing with me. All right, I told you guys I was going to read a letter, and I want to get right into it really quick. I want to dedicate this show to someone who was of inspiration to me. I appreciate you. You're standing by me, and you continue to stand by me. Michelle, I love you very much. I appreciate your love and your support, and I'm delighted to call you family. Your openness and your oneness is light for me, and bless you. Dear Black America, I'm writing this letter to urge you to love yourself and your people now more than ever. In the wake of this week's Las Vegas massacre, Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, has called the event a miracle, painted the man responsible for ruining hundreds of lives as a good Christian man, while blatantly disrespecting, demonizing, and showing no concern or regard for an island with people of color, in that of Puerto Rico, which is also an American territory. They have suffered and are still suffering from the effects of Hurricane Maria. You see, Black America, we are a people of resilience, power, and pride. However, along the line, we've lost some of that substance. I'm asking us to find it. If the shooter had been of color and looked like you or I, their narrative would be completely different. But they can kill our black men and women, innocent black men and women, any day. Black America, I urge you to self-reflect and allow for America's president to push us closer. The point is, to him and his followers, you and I mean absolutely nothing. Let us not focus on their hate for us, but refocus ourselves on just that, ourselves. Let our buying power be the power for us. Let our self-respect lead to the respect for our people. Let our spirituality rise. We must organize, and the revolution will be televised.